depression is a real demon in the woods, too, of a lot of creative people, you know? Two of the biggest influences on me, Robin Williams and Philip Seymour Hoffman, both passed away last year, right? I mean, these are very, very serious artists. You know, Philip was the first one of my generation to be a fully actualized actor-artist.
When he'd won the Oscar, what's the first thing he does? He remembered this script that Sidney Lumet, his hero, had sent him. Sidney Lumet was 83 at the time.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, maybe I got the heat to get this movie made now. And he had brought Sidney to my play, and we all went out. Let's do the movie. We made the movie. It ends up being Sidney's last movie. You know, and Sidney hit it out of the park.
He had something to say with his work, with his theater company, with the choices he made. Robin, too. Just coming back from the Oscars for Good Morning Vietnam, I had seen Garp. Remember how beautiful he was in Garp. And
knew how nervous I was, and he was nervous, too. And I've been chasing that high my whole life.
We don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race. And the human race is filled with passion.
I thought that's what making a movie was like, working with Robin Williams and Peter Weir. I had an amazing experience with these people, and that's what I thought making a movie was like. And I was continually disappointed after that.
his focus was laser.
I never met anybody like him, remotely like him. He was a comic genius.
It's funny, you know, that my last line of that movie is, "Oh, Captain, my Captain."
Oh, Captain, my Captain. I can walk down the street today, right, today, and somebody will say to me, you know, "Oh, Captain, my Captain." You know, the end of that movie is still vibrating.
But the real line, it's a Whitman poem about Abraham Lincoln dying. You know, "Oh, Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done." You know, it's something about the blood and death, and it's actually a very sad poem, you know? It's kind of devastating. All of a sudden, the line means something totally different to me.
Time keeps changing, and the memory's different now that he's gone.
I don't think his brain worked the way that most people's brains worked.
After that scene, you know, you go to the craft service table, you get a cup of coffee, you're sitting there, and Robin Williams is sitting by himself, totally depleted.
I remember everything about that movie.
Because we are food for worms, lads. Because believe it or not, each and every one of us in this room is one day going to stop breathing, turn cold, and die. And peruse some of the faces from the past. They're not that different from you, are they? Same haircuts, invincible, just like you feel.
That movie came out 29 years ago, you know, and it's still vibrating. And that's a beautiful thing to be a part of. And that's worth, you know, that movie had a young man who took his own life. This stuff happens. It happens in every family across America.
I mean, it didn't come for free. I worked with Philip Seymour Hoffman. It didn't come for free. I saw him in Death of a Salesman, you know. It didn't come for free.
A good movie doesn't tell you who to vote for. It's not left, it's not right. A good movie articulates a question that might be on your mind too. I just did this beautiful talk. It was kind of heartbreaking to me in a strange way. To the best of my ability, where I was trying to be real with these young kids. They're 20, 25 or whatever. But nobody really wants me to be real. They just want a photo, you know? And it's kind of heartbreaking because you go like, I'm actually here. And if you really do like me, like, let's talk. You seem really interesting. You're a bunch of film students. I actually was looking forward to come here because I'm really curious what you guys are thinking about right now. Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
But that dialogue was never going to happen because I was behind a glass wall, you know?
You know, my other hero as a young man was River Phoenix. My own Private Idaho was the bar for young men.
It was an incredibly dangerous thing to do as a teen idol to play a gay character.
You know, when you're trying to get a career going for yourself, there wasn't anybody in the world that told them, "Oh, I got a good idea. Why don't you go work with that weird outlaw fringe artist Gus Van Sant and make a movie about a gay hustler?"
That was very verboten when River and I were 21.
But River saw it as something else, you know, and
River was an artist. You know, he didn't think like that.
it's hard to grow up, and it doesn't stop when you're 40. Look at Robin, Phil, you know, I mean, it's a tough row to hoe.